Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Missing Gear. Matt, this is going to be a mega podcast. We didn't talk a lot of Daga last week, so we're talking Daga this week. The Roval, the playoffs.
Kansas.
One Bush brothers in.
And not the one you think would be in.
Hallelujah.
Oh, praise
Hallelujah.
God. Well,
we
let's
got
do this.
moves.
Let's do this first, Dylan. Let's do this first. I have a cold, refreshing Miller Lite in my hand. And what are you holding?
I'm holding a Bush Light because I need to start praying to the Harvick gods.
And I'm praying to Miller Lite that they come back and sponsor Brad Keselowski next year.
I want
Please
them to
do.
sponsor Brad Keselowski too. But right now, I need that Harvick championship more than ever.
You really do. Well, before we get to points, since last week we brought Sam on, we barely talked Daga. And there's a lot to talk about on Daga.
Oh, yes.
I want to start off with the last lap. A lot happened in that race, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But
It was
I
a
want to
heartbreaker.
talk last lap. What do you think about the call NASCAR made, Dylan?
I just wish, it was the right call to make, but I wish that the rule was not, I wish that there wasn't the rule.
Okay,
Because there's no way that they called it on Joey, like, once or twice. They definitely called it on Joey. I don't remember if it was once or twice. Mm-hmm. But, they were consistent with it. They obviously...
NASCAR was, I'll give NASCAR credit, they were consistent with the call. And that's one of the few judgment calls NASCAR has to make. A lot of the rules are very black and white. And very much you need to be in these requirements or your car is going to go through inspection again, or all the pit road, scoring, speeding, everything is electronically timed and everything. So the only thing that's one of the few calls.
And it was the right call. I just don't like the rule.
I agree. Looking back at it, I know I didn't like it originally. And I didn't like it originally because I wanted Matty D to win. And I was really rooting for that guy.
Oh my God. It was just fucking heartbreaking watching him.
Again. And he got penalized.
And it was Hamlin again.
I know. Two times in a row.
Hamlin. Oh my God. Now he's got the 21st place finish when he... it doesn't matter because he's out of the playoff. But he's such a good driver.
I agree.
I want him to just get that win so bad.
So do I. But continuing with Daga. Yellow line rule. This isn't the first time that this has come into play to determine a race winner. I don't know if you remember, I want to say it was 2017, maybe 2018, correct me if I'm wrong, Daytona Xfinity race, Justin Haley went below the yellow line to advance his position, won the race, DQ'd him after he celebrated, and didn't get credited with the win. Same conversation got brought up. That one was a little bit more obvious in the fact that it was more clear that he went down there. What I don't like about Denny Hamlin's call was the amount of time he stayed below the yellow line. I felt like, now I ref soccer occasionally. Mm-hmm. I say occasionally because I used to do it a lot, and now I have other stuff going on.
And Rona.
Yeah, and Rona. That he didn't make a clear effort to go back onto the racing surface. I say racing surface as in above the yellow line. And I feel like that's where my problem with the call is that he just kind of stayed down there for maybe a little too long, in my opinion, and he didn't make a clear enough effort to go and correct it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm no NASCAR penalty rules official expert, whatever you want to call it. I'm no professional here, all right? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying as a point of another referee of a different sport, there has to be some attempt to correct it, because in soccer, I'm going to compare this to soccer real quick, there's a lot of handsy, elbows, pushing, whatever, and a lot of times I let that go if they correct it. Mm-hmm. But if they keep doing it, then you call it.
Yeah, you got to call it. I mean, you can
So
go easy on him, and you can let him play to a certain extent.
Right.
But
that's why I'm like, I feel like they kind of just went easy on him. Like, okay, Denny Hamlin's in the playoffs. We'll let it slide and whatever. And
they didn't take it easy on Joey, though.
No, they didn't. Well,
I mean,
it's Joey, so whatever.
Joey's Joey.
But in the end, I'm okay with the call. I think NASCAR was probably 90% consistent on their calls, which I'd say is very good.
Especially
I would
compared to other sports.
Really, compared to other sports. I mean, basketball is one of those that it's a lot of hearsay. I don't even know if hearsay is the right word, but a lot of just what you see. Yeah. Soccer can be the same way.
Do you know how much LeBron travels?
All the time.
That's another reason why I have such a hard problem with Sam just bitching about how Jordan played against plumbers. Pat Riley, granted, he was super mad after LeBron left and everything, but he said it best. He's like, just watch a fucking LeBron game. He's great, and he's an amazing athlete and an amazing basketball mind. And I was just rooting for him because they just won the finals.
You're a big Laker fan.
With
I know
my
you're
Lakers.
A big Congrats, by the way. I know you're a big Lakers fan.
Thank you.
I know you're a big Lakers fan.
That motherfucker travels
all the time. You know what? I don't watch basketball
constantly.
Let me give you my 2 cents of not a basketball watcher. I follow in the fact of whatever I see on Instagram via ESPN Sports Center. That's literally the only basketball I ever see, right? And I don't watch the Bucks, but I follow.
Yes.
I don't really watch, but I like to see. Okay, the Bucks won.
The Bucks are my number 2 team, because the Lakers weren't there for me, but Kobe Bryant was when I was little.
Yep. So what I see of LeBron clips is, oh, it's a dunk, sweet, and then I just see 4 steps from behind, basically half court, and he dunks it, and I'm like, I mean, again, like I said this about the NASCAR official. I'm no NBA official here. I'm no professional by any means. I'm not in any way saying I know the rules better than anybody else, because I don't. But isn't it 2 steps max, and then you have to dribble?
Yeah, I mean,
am I wrong by that?
When I play pickup basketball, I try to be a little unathletic white LeBron all the time.
Yeah.
And I just get called constantly. I get called to the point where I just get pissed off and I do nothing but rebound and pass.
Yeah, that's what my game would be.
Because I got nothing else. It's I don't know how to try to be LeBron here.
Let me throw you a story real quick. So I played 7th grade basketball.
Oh no!
I know this was bad.
Oh, I remember you in middle school too. That was not. That definitely was not your sport.
No, basketball was not my sport. You knew soccer was my sport. I played 7th grade basketball, and I didn't go in. I was no way the best player on the team. Of 12, I think 11 players on my team, I was second to worst because Aaron Zegers was the worst.
Yeah, he just wanted the jersey.
He was the worst.
He just wanted the jersey.
He was the worst. Yeah. I would definitely in no way going to disagree. I was second to worst.
He just quit track. He only ran track to get the jersey, and then he quit right after.
So
warm up.
So I didn't go in a lot, which is fine, right? I didn't. I played. It was fun. I'm not saying
you stayed in your lane.
Yeah, I knew what I could do. I knew what I couldn't do. So I didn't really shoot. I had probably 3 shots the whole season, and I was okay with that, right? I was the go in there, make a screen, throw a pass, maybe get a rebound. That's what my role was, and I was totally okay with that. So the one time I tried to drive, right, I get a pass, and I start to dribble, and I get called for traveling, and I have no fucking idea what I did. I seriously am like, I'm never doing this again. The one time I do it, right, I get a pass, and I thought, fuck it, I'm doing it. I gotta try at least once. I go to dribble, right? I straight get the pass. I don't even think I put 2 feet on the fucking ground, right? I get the pass, I mid motion, and I start dribbling, travel, and I'm like, I don't even know what I did. I don't even know what I did.
Exactly.
And I said, whatever, I'm not doing it again. Fair enough. So that's my story. Let's go back to NASCAR quick. Talladega, that was a big shakeup in the playoffs.
It was a shake-up. It was, in a way, a beautiful shit show.
Oh, glorious shit show.
I mean, the amount of... Kyle Busch, the survival attempt. Oh, my God.
Wow. I will give that man credit.
I mean, it was...
that team.
Yes. It was almost Revenant level survival. I mean, he got
close. It was bad. He
was
put
like a
through
bear
the ringer, and he kept trucking.
Yes, didn't molest Leo once, like 4 times.
Yeah,
and that poor man just kept trying to go, but also like he didn't make it.
He didn't make it. Well, so other Talladega topics.
Boyer had a rough day, 33rd. We'll talk a little more about him during the Roval.
Boyer had a rough day. Let's see.
Amarola did too. He was my pick.
He was doing really good at the beginning.
Yep.
He crashed out, and he was your pick.
But he also crashed with Kyle Busch, so I still cracked one of my like Blue Moon Tall boys, and I sent you a video of that.
Yeah, you did.
Just because, I mean, like, watching Kyle crash, even though he hung on for a while yet, was just so satisfying that I'm like, well, if I'm going down in flames, at least Kyle went down.
Yeah. Eric Jones, second place finish.
This is fairly good.
This is the official results. Eric Jones has been fantastic, by the way. He's probably been the best non-16 playoff driver. I say non-16 as he's the best one that never made the playoffs.
We're gonna get to where I think he's gonna go later in the podcast. But I swear to God, he's got to go to one of these good teams. He's too good of a driver.
The man, the myth, the legend, Ty Dillon got third.
Wild. We also need to talk about him during the Roval.
I'm very happy. Yes, I'm very happy William Byron didn't win. Just because at this point, I don't want him to win because he took Jimmy's spot in the playoffs.
Willie motherfucking B.
That's it.
He took Willie's. Willie took Chad Knaus. And then he took Jimmy's final playoff spot.
Yeah, he did.
And probably a win with Jimmy, too. Because Jimmy, I think he could have won that Talladega race if he didn't crash at the end. Because, I mean, he would have been right where Willie B was, just about. And he's such a more experienced and better driver.
I agree. Are you talking the Daytona race or the Talladega race?
I'm talking the Daytona race.
Okay.
And then also, I mean, if he was in the playoff, you would have got playoff Jimmy at the Roval, and Jimmy was having a good day at the Roval. You would have got playoff Jimmy.
Jimmy did great. Jimmy, I think, would have done great at Talladega.
Jimmy would have done good at Talladega. He would have gave it his all at the Southern 500.
Absolutely. Richmond, Bristol probably. Vegas, Dega, Charlotte. I mean, really, he could have maybe made it to the round 8.
He would have been racing for something.
He would have. That's what mattered. That's what mattered. Newman, Reddick, Jonathan Nemechek, top 10s. Ryan Preece finally had a decent run. But Brendan Poole, top 10. Wow. You know it's a shit show and he's up there.
Played the survival game.
I hate to say it.
At one point in that race... Hold
on. So, Justin Haley in the 77 got 11th. I'll talk about him in a second. Quinn Houff, 13th.
And career best.
Timmy Hill, 15th.
Oh,
Joey Gase, 17th.
I don't know what's
Ware,
more
19th.
impressive.
All those are just shockers because none of those really should be in the top 20.
At one point, I thought Chris Buescher or Ryan Preece was going to win just because they survived.
Yeah, no, really. That would be it.
They had a puncher's chance. And this 2-week stretch, this mega podcast that we're covering, the past 2 weeks, Ryan Preece has looked pretty damn good.
He has. So, quick on Justin Haley. The Xfinity race, he won another super speedway race.
I can't believe I didn't pick him. I thought it was going to be a Chastain. I thought it was his turn, but he is definitely, at the very worst, going to be a Ricky Stenhouse when he gets the Cup.
I will say, in terms of dominant teams in Xfinity Series, Kaulig Racing, in my opinion, is at the top.
Out of the non-huge mega teams that also run Cup, they're definitely the best.
They are the best
Xfinity focus team, and they're also probably the best. Well, they are the best, clearly, at running the super speedways.
Super speedways, road courses. They got plenty of speed in those Chevrolets. Justin Haley, great road course, or not road course.
He is a pretty good road course racer,
He is, but in
he's
terms
a
of
super speedway
speedway,
specialist.
really, he is.
He's like
he won in the 77.
A junior
He won
in his prime.
3 in a row now in super speedways. He almost won that race I was talking about earlier, where he got disqualified.
That was 2018, by the way.
Was that 2018?
I did a quick
I said
Google
17 or 18. I wasn't 100% confident. I think 18. Yeah. Awesome. Like, he is. If it's Xfinity, he is a road course racer. And Justin Haley, I think, could move up to Cup with the right opportunity.
Yes, I don't think he should this year. I want to see him win.
I want him to.
A couple of 1.5s, maybe a road course. He's got a kind of like how you don't want to. Cendric maybe had a dark horse puncher's chance.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to just after last year throw him in a Cup car, he might be able to sneak a road course win or two in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
But he definitely needed to go back, run a lot more 1.5s, become a better driver, and now he's ready. I mean, he's not as ready as a Briscoe is.
Yeah.
And we'll get to his situation.
We'll get to both those situations
Yes.
in a little bit. So, do you have anything else to add on Talladega?
Not really, besides
all the races.
Attaboy Ryan Preece and
Really?
Attaboy Denny Hamlin for being the only Toyota driver besides Eric Jones to ever try at either super speedway.
Denny Hamlin, by the way, with his Daytona wins, which are impressive in and of itself.
Finally got himself a Daga win. I don't know if it's his first or his second Daga win, but that wasn't really a good track for him. But
but somehow
he's the only guy that cares at super speedways.
Or he just figures it out, really, is what it comes down to. So let's talk some Roval. Let's start with our picks.
All right.
So I am really upset that you threw out the fact that the Dinger was available and I didn't take him.
Oh, the Xfinity.
The Xfinity race.
Oh, yes.
Honestly,
Your
one of the
dumbass
top
almost got it, too.
5 races I've ever witnessed.
Oh, yeah.
And probably the 2018 Cup Roval race was also one of the top 5 greatest races I've ever witnessed. Live.
That was so insane.
Unreal.
The rain.
Race.
The rain there.
Oh my gosh. Oh my days. I could not believe.
And Briscoe, your pick, had such a good chance.
Don't
and he spun on the restart. He literally spun.
Right out of heartburn turn, spun out, and I'm like, fuck. There goes. There goes the Dinger.
When I saw that, I was
so pissed.
Oh, fuck. Why didn't I take the Dinger? But I thought it was going to be Cendric, because Cendric has got to win one of these.
He does. He really does. But Briscoe's right there, man. Right there.
It's like, oh my God. It was literally the pick you should have picked and the pick you picked.
Yeah. Right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Unbelievable race. The rain racing was crazy awesome. Now, we got to witness some of that.
Visually, it looked awesome. And it looked like a mess. But it looked great.
We got to witness some of that at Road America. Which was awesome. It was the first time I think I've ever saw rain racing live.
A rain race
of
live. Water that was just shooting out.
But that's nothing compared to the Charlotte race. It was downpouring and they were just freaking running it.
It looked like cars were going to hydroplane.
It really did.
It looked like me on a Tower Drive bridge.
Oh yeah, when you flipped your car?
Yeah. Also, we're in the new studio and I had to take that bridge today.
I'm sorry, Dylan.
I'm not afraid of bridges, but I'm afraid of that one.
PTSD?
I'm afraid of that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
They're actually doing repairs on it right now, which scares me even more.
Well, what'd you say last week about Tower Drive Bridge?
It's a fucking unsafe bridge.
Yep, there it is.
It's a fucking unsafe bridge. That thing is 17 feet lower than when they originally put it up. It is sinking. It's sinking. It's going to be in the bay in a couple of years. And there's going to be people that are dying, and there's going to be lawsuits, and I want price of my Chevy Impala. I want that from the city of Green Bay. Fix that fucking bridge. But nevertheless, there was a Cup Roval race, Matt, and I gotta say, I just
Hold on. I'm not done with the Xfinity.
You didn't like my transition?
I liked your transition, but I wasn't done with the Xfinity.
Okay. Last point.
That race was one of the better reasons why I like to watch Xfinity.
Yes.
Really, it was. Different type of package, different type of rules, different drivers. None of that really mattered except the fact that it was fucking downpouring and everybody was spinning every freaking other lap. Every corner somebody was throwing it into the curve. And that was one of the races where coming down to even the last lap, you didn't know 100% that AJ Allmendinger was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually on a mile and a half, 3 laps left, if they're a second back, okay, you'd have to blow a tire or something to really crash it.
You have to blow a tire, you'd have to have a Kevin Harvick or Denny Hamlin behind you.
But in that race, you just never knew with the rain. You just never knew. You're like,
if the Dinger would have made one mistake.
He could make one mistake, and
all of a sudden, I don't remember who
Noah
finished
Gragson
second.
I believe.
Greg.
Noah, who had a great day, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Gragson could win the race. Even coming to the last 3 turns in the chicane there, I was like, man, that's one of the races where literally anything could happen, and I didn't know who was going to win until they crossed the checkered line.
Yes.
And that's just like the Talladega races, too, and the Super Speedway races, I should say. You never know who's going to win until they cross the line. And that's what makes them exciting. And I give applaud to the Roval, but what I want to say is I want to see them put permanent lights in that motherfucker so we can run a night race there.
Oh, yes.
Make every race... I want to sign a petition that every race in the playoffs is a night race. Put lights on Dega. Put lights on Dega. Oh, my God. Oh, every race is a night race. That would be awesome. I would love to see that.
I'd like that.
I would absolutely love that.
That would be the tits.
But they ran that race got done at 7 o'clock Eastern, and it was pitch black. Not pitch black. I mean, they had the actual mile and a half track lights on, but you could barely see what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went to the Cup race and put temporary lights up in case that ran longer. But to your point, let's now talk about the Cup race.
So the Cup race happened.
Picks.
The picks.
Well, I know you just put your binder away, but...
You, my friend, went with the smart call. Chase Elliott,
thank you.
4 victories in a row at road courses.
Yes, sir.
I just thought the streak was going to end, but that's a hell of a streak. That's a streak that will go down like Dale Earnhardt Jr. winning 4 races in a row at Dega.
I think Jeff Gordon's the only one has done longer at road courses.
I think he did 5.
I think it's 5 or 6.
Because he was the only guy that ever cared about Sonoma and Watkins Glen. It feels
really? Yeah.
For a couple of years.
Yeah.
But yep, and I had MTJ, which, I mean, maybe if there was a even later restart and Truex did a move or something, he could have got it. But I hedged my bets with Hendrick.
You did, and you know what? That's still a good pick.
Not only for Elliott, but Bowman. And Bowman, we got to talk some Bowman.
We do have to talk some Bowman later.
Definitely. And I picked Ford just because, I respect Fords, and it's kind of been the year of Ford for the most part. You had Toyota, didn't really matter. And, of course, you whiffed on Briscoe.
I don't feel like I whiffed on Briscoe.
Don't disrespect the Dinger.
I still feel like I didn't whiff on Briscoe.
Don't ever disrespect the Dinger. But, yep, so those were our picks. And I want to talk winners and losers just right away. And I have a winner for you. And a loser. Rolled into one. And actually, we just discussed them. Ryan Preece and Alex Bowman. Ryan Preece is the winner in that. You want to know why? Because he had a good run. He had a really good run at Talladega. And that motherfucker got out in front at the Roval, and we kind of knew he wasn't going to win because his pit... Because he was very questionable on gas.
Yep.
But he led it felt like 20 laps.
8 laps.
8 laps? It felt like 21.5.
Which is pretty good, 8 laps. Not going to lie.
And then Bowman right behind him, and they were talking about like his anxiety. And I know that he like took some shit from some dudes on Twitter about his anxiety this week, and I don't want to be too hard on him. But the entire time I was thinking about that, I'm like, you fucking little bitch. This is Ryan Preece. Why are you not being aggressive and trying to pass him? Like, I know that sometimes you want to bide your time, but like, dude, Chase Elliott is fucking coming up on you.
Yeah.
Like, remember, Chase Elliott he had to move through the field at that point. It's like, we didn't know that there were going to be these like late restarts and Chase was just going to get in front and take it away. Bowman, you're in the playoffs. You got to pass fucking Ryan Preece.
Yeah.
He's a C-lister on his best day.
Oh,
he should be. But Ryan Preece, I mean, like, it was only 8 laps, but it's a fucking road course, and it felt like forever. And I was impressed. I was, honest to God, impressed at Ryan Preece. So I just want to... Ryan Preece, definite winner in my mind. Moral victory for him.
I agree. Considering how crappy his season has started and how it progressed.
Honestly, how crappy his team is, too. JTG Doherty sucks. I don't like that team at all.
Why don't you like that team? Because Stenhouse Jr.'s on it?
I mean, Stenhouse Jr., the only thing that they ever did was score an upset at a road course with the dinger.
I mean, I agree, but I like the team.
But
I feel like
they keep finishing in last. They have so many last place finishes, and they have an alliance with Hendrick, and they're finishing. Ryan Preece, he surprises us, and he surprised us this last 2 weeks, but he hasn't done shit for most of the season. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., aside from almost pulling a Stenhouse special, a 47 special at Talladega, like, he hasn't done shit.
Win the pole at the 500, that's enough for them.
Well, yeah.
For how?
The 500. But, okay, in between the 500 and Talladega, and then since then, the 47 hasn't done shit. And then there's just been little moments.
No.
Didn't they have a 4-week streak where they shared last place finishes?
Was that?
They had like a 4-week streak of that.
Of 37 and 47?
Yeah. Between the 37 and the 47.
I actually cannot tell.
Yes, because I remember it was Ryan Preece was running in like the top 10, and it was a day where he just fucking crashed, and I thought he died for a minute. And then on the radio, he just went, fantastic, and I laughed my ass off.
Bro, what race was that? I remember exactly which one you're talking about.
I think it was before the playoffs. So what was like the last 1.5 before the playoffs?
Oh, let me find it. Hold on, I'm looking right now. Last 1.5 before, I don't remember off the top of my head, actually. I do remember the race. Was it? No, it wasn't that one. I thought it was.
I'm going to take a tug of this Busch Latte.
The Busch Latte.
Oh, that's great. That crisp flavor. Ooh. Sponsor us, Sennheiser. Kansas.
Which the Ricky Stenhouse special finished last because they had an electrical problem.
Yes, I think that was like the 4th week for them, where they finished in last.
Well, so it was B.J. McLeod and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Let me go back one. Texas Motor Speedway. Ryan Preece. Go back another one. Bristol. See if it loads. Hold on, it is.
Bristol, it seems like a race where Ricky would finish last, or Preece.
Hold on. Oh wait, hold on. That's the All-Star race highlight.
Yeah, I don't think either one of them made an All-Star race.
Well, they'd be in the Open.
Ah, the Open.
And
I think that was Bubba, because I think Bubba was the only one that crashed out.
He crashed.
Yep, then he got into the pissing match with Michael McDowell.
That was fun. I like that one. Ryan Preece then at Kentucky.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
Minneapolis. Ryan Preece, you're not wrong, Dylan.
Ryan motherfucking Preece.
You're right. Okay.
And now I want to talk another winner,
yeah.
and I want to talk a little more about Boyer. but it's Clint Bowyer. I'm going to put Clint Bowyer, even though he just got eliminated from the playoff at the Roval. He was in third, and they were talking about him like he could win it, and I was feeling me some Clint Bowyer. One final moment, a Casey Kane Brickyard 400 moment, where he got that final victory, or he was going to at least contend.
Clint Bowyer can just suck a dick because I want Jimmy to win before Clint Bowyer does.
Yeah.
Jimmy deserves it more than Bowyer. What the fuck has Bowyer done in his career?
Make the playoffs this year.
That's it. That's what I mean. He's won, 10 races?
All right. But now this needs to be unanimous, Matt. But his car got fucked up and he lost power steering at a road course. And now I've driven in cars with no power steering. There was about a week and a half of my life where my first Buick didn't have power steering. So basically, the thing with power steering with no power steering in a Buick, or I mean just a car in general, is the faster and the wider turns are, the easier they are to go around. But he's doing that at a road course, so they're braking, and at points in that track, he's only going like 60 miles an hour, and he's got to turn that fucking thing left and right. And he came all the way back, and he finished in 10th place.
I'll give him that.
And then he got out of that car, and he just collapsed, and they had to take him to the medical center.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, for such an act of valor, I would like to nominate him to be out of the doghouse and to put JTG Doherty, the team, in for the remainder of the season, unless, of course, we get a Stenhouse special or a Priest victory. Just until the end of the year, so Bowyer does not end his career in the doghouse. Matt, the man drove without power steering for the last part of that race at a road course where it's slower and there's a shit ton of turns compared to a regular race. It was a tremendous display, in my opinion, and I'm a little proud of Bowyer for sticking it out. And I mean, he was in a must-win situation, and he was in a situation to win. And then his power steering went out. He fell all the way back into the mid-20s, and he drove his ass to 10th. That's a moral victory right there in itself. So, Matt, I'm asking you, can we put JTG Doherty in and take old Clinty B out?
Dylan, I thought Clint B was going to be a lifer, and we were going to euthanize him at the end of this season.
I did think we were going to name the doghouse the Clint Bowyer Doghouse.
I still feel
the Clint Bowyer House of Dogs.
Hold on. I still feel like we can do that.
Okay. How about at the end of the season, Clint Bowyer is out of the doghouse, but we change the name of the doghouse to the Clint Bowyer House for Dogs.
Bowyer's House for Dogs. Bowyer's House for Dogs.
Bowyer's House for Dogs.
Bowyer's House for Dogs.
Is that a compromise?
That's a compromise.
Art of the deal.
I can live with that.
All right.
I can live with that. Bowyer's House
Cheers.
for Dogs. I'm empty.
You're empty? Well, I'm empty too, so there we go.
Isn't that bad luck?
Yeah. Congratulations, Clint. I
Congrats,
can't wait
Clint.
to see you where you belong
Bowyer.
in the booth because he retired this week.
Speaking of that, let's shift to some news. Clint Bowyer decided he was not going to return to the 14, which honestly I'm not overly surprised about. I know a lot of people said, well, that's he's going to come back, and I think we both said that we weren't so confident.
If Casey's not coming back, and if Carl Edwards isn't coming back, I don't think Clint Bowyer comes back.
Yeah.
I think Clint Bowyer will run a couple one-off races.
This made the most sense to
in
go to the
Xfinity.
booth because honestly, he just, as if Fox wasn't already the best. Honestly, they already were the best. Now you add Clint into the booth with Jeff Gordon and Mike Joy,
comedian
with Larry Mack. Oh my God, I can't ask for anything more than that. I could not be happier.
Darrell Waltrip comes out of retirement for like 1 week a season and just shows he's still alive. You mix him with some Clint. Clint just going off the fucking rails like he's on his third fucking Paps.
Yep.
Like I can't wait. It's where he belongs.
I agree.
Xfinity races when he'd hop in the booth are so much fun.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. I could not be happier with this move. For Fox, for Clint, for the fans. Love this move. So now the question is, who's going to fill that 14 spot?
So I think...
So with a few other pieces falling into place, which we'll get to in a second here, who are you taking?
Briscoe's got 8 wins. He predicted that he would need 8 wins. And 8 wins, I believe, among like a full-time, young, regular season Xfinity driver is probably tied with Chris Bell for the most all-time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know Kyle Busch got 13 wins in a season, but he also only ran like 24 or 25 races, and he just has such superior equipment and experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if Briscoe can win another 1 or 2 races and the championship, this is going to be remembered as one of the best Xfinity seasons that we've seen since at least like the turn of the century.
I could agree.
So
I could see Briscoe going in there. And I think if Briscoe goes in there, they turn into the new Hendrick Motorsports. Now, hear me out when I say that.
Yes, a dynasty.
Hold on. This is what I like current Hendrick Motorsports because you got the
current?
vet. No, hold on.
Current?
No, hold the fucking phone, Dylan.
I thought you were talking like Jimmy winning championships.
No, because
Gordon.
Stuart Haas can't get to that point because they have Kevin Harvick, and that's it. Because Hendrick had Jeff Gordon, Jimmy, Dale, and I mean Casey Kane was there, but like they had like an unbelievable
that
team,
hurts,
right?
But yeah.
I'm sorry, they had an unbelievable. Stuart Haas has Jeff Gordon, and maybe everybody else will win around one race, which is accurate because Cole Custer is the only one of the other 3 drivers to win a race.
True, and Cole Custer is going to be good.
I think
He's going to be a legitimate, decent driver.
I think he will develop.
Like,
I think Cole Custer, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Cole Custer will be better if he switched. Now, hold on, let me explain why my thought process on this. I feel like Eric Jones, along with Cole Custer eventually, Eric Jones will do better in a new team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he'll have less pressure of Joe Gibbs. Eric Jones. I feel like he just is expected to win. And there's just so much pressure on him to win. And he's won 2 races, which I'm not saying is bad. I mean, that's decent. I mean, that's honestly better than William Byron has done. He's only won 1.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to Cole Custer, I think Cole Custer is a win, which is great. But I feel like give him some time. He might switch teams, and then he'll be great. I feel like he might need to switch teams in order to say, all right.
Well, I wouldn't say he needs to switch teams. He needs a couple of years.
He does. No, I
can see Cole Custer. I think that the expectation for him, and this is a really good expectation to have, is over the course of his career, he'll average more than 1 win a season.
I think he'll have like 2 or 3.
I mean, maybe. Ryan Newman doesn't even average that right now.
That's true. No, he averages 1.
I think that, like, I think Cole Custer is going to get to a point where he'll be at his peak, like, at the very least, and this is a good career, at his peak averaging 2 to 3 wins a season, kind of bringing it back up, like the Biff and the Biff's prime, where the Biff was good for 2 or 3 victories in a season at his peak. So Cole Custer is going to be something. Eric Almirola is just a guy who has been able to have good relationships with sponsors like Smithfield, where he can always he can bring in the money to a decent enough cup team. That he can run in decent equipment. And at his best, he's capable of being decent in decent equipment. Even though he's not, I wouldn't even call him a decent driver. But, so with Briscoe, there's all the potential in the world. I mean, he's 25. He's no wonder kid.
Yeah.
Like how Jeff Gordon was. But I mean, if I were to tell you in 20 years Chase Briscoe is retiring with 50 victories and 2 championships, would you say that, judging by the way that he's ran Xfinity this season, that would just be completely ridiculous?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Brad Keselowski's probably on track for 50 victories, and
That's
maybe he can get another championship.
That's
assuming
true.
he drives for another 5 years.
That's true. That's a good point.
So yeah, I like it. I think that Briscoe is the obvious for the obvious pick for the 14.
He really is.
And honestly, I don't know if Kyle Larson wants to just hop back into NASCAR right away. Because
let me get to Kyle Larson. I'll let you finish.
Because I think Kyle Larson is the only other guy who has the potential with Stewart-Haas to go to Stewart-Haas. But honestly, I think that they're going to hang on to Amarola. They're going to get that Smithfield money for another year, which is the plan. And then in 2021, I think Kyle Larson is going to keep doing what he's doing, dominating all other forms of racing. Then 2022 comes around, and that's when Kyle Larson hops in the 10, which, honest to God, I hope that they replace the 10.
10's just bad juju, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the Danica Patrick number.
It is.
And then it's the Eric Amarola number, which doesn't make it any better. Doesn't make it any better.
I think,
actually,
in
my
terms of
personal
Kyle Larson,
preference is they go and they do the Chase Elliott thing, where they go and they run him in the 24.
And then switch him.
And then they switch him to his Xfinity number, put him in the 98, put Briscoe in the 98, move the 14 to the 10 for Kyle Larson in 2022. That would be my dream scenario.
I think
that would be so much better than what they did at Hendrick with Elliott and Willie B.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
It's a dream scenario.
I know, Dylan, I know. But I think Kyle Larson... So another news, speaking of Kyle Larson, I'm going to tie into this. Alex Bowman is announced to be moving to the 48, which I know I talked about this to you before, and I wish that they would just move the sponsor of the 48 to the 88 and keep Alex Bowman in the 88. However, I don't know how they have that worked out. That's all contractual shit. That's probably why they're moving him to 48.
But also...
And that's fine, right? That's just is what it is.
You know, the 88, granted, Junior is just embedded in that number. The number 48 is a much more historically significant number, like that yellow 48, Hendrick.
Yeah.
You'd want Ally to stay with... I think that Ally would want to stay with. I think that's why...
I think that's just contractual stuff, and I think that's...
I'm
okay with it. In all honesty, I'm not upset about it. I think in my eyes, I'm thinking, well, if you have 88 gear of Alex Bowman, unless they did this on purpose, then you would stay in the 88 and you would keep the number of he's in the 88, right? Now you have to go buy 48 stuff, which is fine. I think that's part of the reason why they did it, for marketing, and then to get people to buy more shit, which is fine. But so now who's going to go in the 88? I think I heard a rumor somewhere, don't remember where, that Kyle Larson was talking with Chevrolet reps to get him back into a Chevrolet. So,
I thought Chevy dropped him.
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
But they might want him back. So what I'm saying is that he might be going to the 88. And I think he can, you know what? I think he can bring sponsorships. I know he had the issue with the racial slur.
Full season NRA sponsorship coming up.
Oh yeah, but
put the Nuge on the car.
It's been
Ted Nugent.
6 months, and honestly, if you have new fans, nobody's gonna know any of that shit.
And anymore. Kyle Larson, we know that Kyle Larson just did it.
He is too good to not be in the sport.
And he just did a dumb thing. He is not a racist and a bad person. He just fucked up. He said something that honestly, it's bad. But like, have you heard some of the things that people say on COD?
Really? No, I agree. Like
his mistake is he treated iRacing like a
it
game
was
of modern warfare.
Well, that's a good point. No, that's a good point. So that's that situation. I'm gonna talk about some other news. A new team is coming to the sport, Dylan. I'm excited about this one.
Yes.
Excited about this one. Former race car driver Justin Marks forms a new Cup Series team in alliance with RCR. Basically, they're taking the spot of Germain Racing because Germain Racing had the alliance with RCR before because Ty Dillon ran it. Now they're moving to Justin Marks, and the driver is
not Ty
Daniel Suarez.
Interesting.
In a Chevrolet, which is interesting. I'm excited for this move. I always like seeing new owners, new teams in the sport.
Honestly, I'd rather see Justin Marks, though, than Daniel Suarez.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, we've been there, we've done that with Suarez, and I know that, he was, I always say, the fourth Gibbs guy. The last Gibbs guy is always the one that's just mistreated, underappreciated, gets the shit end of the stick all the time.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean. So, in order for Justin Marks to do this, team, Spire Motorsports secured a third charter, which is actually crazy because they were a one-car team. They then bought a second charter for next year, and now they're a three-charter team.
Leased it, right?
Leased it to Justin and his team so then they can have a program, which I think is great. I know Spire Motorsports wants to be a two-car team, and they're going to be next year. And I know they're pretty much just preparing for the 2022 season now.
They want to be competitive in the Gen 7
car.
Right now, they're almost running laps and just preparing.
Really, that's all they are. They're just trying to do it, right? They're trying to figure it out. And I hope they can perform and they can move forward. Because really, in terms of teams that just aren't all there, at this point, it's pretty much Rick Ware Racing with their 4 cars.
Yeah.
Spire Motorsports, and then maybe the one-off teams that every once in a while just show up, which is fine. But really, it's those 2 teams.
Spire I don't know if Tommy Baldwin Racing is still around, but the definition of Tommy Baldwin Racing.
Yes. So they're the D-list teams. They just run the laps, right? Hopefully, they can keep moving forward.
The guys who are running Terry Labonte 10 years after Terry Labonte's last win.
Yeah. Hopefully
Go Fast
they can
Racing.
keep moving forward. Yeah, and they don't have a driver for next year either. But in terms of other drivers, Matty D is running one more season at the Wood Brothers.
And then it's Cendric.
And then they also announced Cedric's going back. I am kind of surprised by this, but not. So let me give you my 2 cents. I'm not surprised that if they were to keep a driver, it'd be Matty D, because I think Matty D has outperformed for that equipment. He's been fantastic.
Although it is Penske equipment. It's just straight up Penske equipment.
No, but think of what Paul Menard did. Granted, it's Paul Menard, but...
Yeah, Paul Menard does shit anywhere.
The
check's just clear, Matt.
It's not full-on Penske equipment. It's like B-team Penske equipment. They get the leftovers.
They get
but it's
scraps.
Still good leftovers.
They get the raw stress for less Penske.
They do.
Which you can
What's
still
wrong
win
with raw stress for less, though? I buy a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, what is it, TJ Maxx? Does TJ Maxx have a lot of that stuff too?
TJ Maxx is very similar to Ross. It's just TJ Maxx is what you consider, quote, higher class.
Okay. Well, I'll stick with the raw stress for less comparison, but you can still win with some raw stress for less Penske equipment. You might not win 4 races a year like what Brad and Joey have done in the past couple of years, but you might not be within spitting distance of that, but you definitely have equipment that can win. You're not Ryan Preece out there just stuck with that trash. You're not Chris Buescher, who I can't give up on just because Roush has gotten so bad.
Roush needs a Roush-assance. Let's talk that in a second. Anyway, so Austin Cindric going to the 21 in 2022. If Chase Briscoe moves up, I mean, it's a clear winner who's winning the Xfinity Championship next year. If Austin Cindric doesn't
becomes
win,
the perennial favorite, and that's the expectation for him to win next season.
It is. It really is. If he doesn't next season, it'll be a disappointment. If Chase Briscoe doesn't move up, if Chase Briscoe stays in Xfinity next year, he'll have a run for his money. It'll be a great battle between the two. Maybe throw in a third driver. I don't know, but it'll be pretty much
Allgaier's the third driver then.
Yeah, Allgaier has kind of been hit or miss.
He's hit or miss, but I mean,
this season it's
he'll
Allgaier.
find a way.
This season it's Allgaier. I agree.
He'll find a way.
Next
to be
year
the third.
Depends, because really,
unless Gragson
give fucking AJ Allmendinger a full ride, Colic Lacey.
I want to bring that up.
Please.
I want to bring that up after we're done with Penske. Let's talk about that after we're done.
I'm excited to see Austin Cindric in the sport in 2021.
2022.
2022. I'm sorry. I'm surprised they announced it this far in advance. Maybe I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I find it interesting that they already said in 2022 Austin Cindric will be in there. I think what's good for Matty D is that he knows he has another year to find another job. Mm-hmm. And I think Matty D will do great in that car next year. I'll throw this out to you. If I'm Stuart Haas and that 10 seat becomes available, I'm taking Matty D over.
If they don't get Kyle Larson, Matty D is a fantastic plan B.
Matty
D, the plan B.
He really is. I think he needs to be in great equipment, and this is B level. He was doing great in fucking C level equipment with Levine, and he was doing fine. Mm-hmm. And you throw him in this B level equipment
Levine, he was doing fine.
See, you like that? You like that? Yeah, see, that's good there. Yeah. And he's doing great now, even in the Penske, or pretty much the Penske 21. It's the Wood Brothers, but it's the B team Penske,
Raw stress for less.
Raw stress for less, yes. But I'm excited for Austin Cindric. It'll make sense for a lot of them, because if you go to the Cup Series next year, I mean, what are you really going to gain out of it? The car's going to switch in 2022 anyway.
Can I put on my tinfoil hat, Matt?
Uh-oh, here we go.
So I have a little bit of a theory. Say re-sign Brad Keselowski for 1 year, 1 season. And now we've been hearing retirement rumors about Brad Keselowski.
Really?
And
where are you hearing those rumors? I don't like hearing those.
We had those rumors before he signed the 1 year extension.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if, Brad... I think that there's a lot more to Brad than just... I don't think Brad is going to be one of those dudes who's just going to be a clinger to the sport. I don't think he's going to be a Terry Labonte, Bobby Labonte, where they're just running with Go Fast Racing.
Yeah.
Or honestly, they're just running to try to win one race a year.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Bill Elliott kind of was in the early 2000s, where he wasn't a championship contender. I could see Brad possibly leaving the sport.
I think he's still too young. He's 36. That's pretty young.
I know, but
he has a good 4 years left.
That's what I said. I said he's got 4 to 5 years left of a certain prime.
Good prime.
Of a
he could win 3 to 4 races
upper
yet.
crust driver.
I think he could still win 3 to 4 races yet.
But yes, but if he were to retire, or Penske wouldn't want him, you already have Cindric committed to the 21 Wood Brothers, and you never want to just throw a rookie. We saw it with Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott didn't do as good as I think he would have done had he not got thrown into the 24. And hey guys, here's the next Gordon. Living up to that is tough. And, this is the car of Rusty Wallace, Brad Keselowski. Kurt Busch was pretty fucking good, too. The Deuce. The Blue Deuce. And he's a young guy. So let's say that 2021, Brad decides he either wants to move to a different team or he wants to retire. You could move Matty D. He's a known driver. He'll probably get a victory next year. Even if you only do it for a couple years, just let him kind of carry on a temporary basis that flagship car. Not to mention, 2022 comes up. it's going to be a whole new playing field with the Gen 7 car.
Gen 7 car, yep.
So putting Cindric in a situation where he's in the 21 and he's not in like the cornerstone flagship Penske car would be good for him. Not to mention, like, there's a lot of sponsors for that number 2, the Deuce. And Matty D is a pretty fucking popular driver right now.
Oh, he really is. I'm riding the Matty D train. I'm riding it.
For popularity last season. And this year he's only gotten more popular, especially with all the heartbreak.
Oh my God. The heartbreak.
It's making a great movie.
Oh my God, it really is, Dylan. Don't get me started.
It's making a great movie. But maybe if you want Miller Lite to throw a couple more races in there, you go for a guy like Matty D. I would say that Bubba's got all the heat from everything that's happened to him this year. Chase Elliott is the perennial favorite for most popular driver. But there's an outside chance maybe the masses, the NASCAR Reddit comes in and Matty D steals one most popular driver.
That'd be awesome.
Just steals one.
I would absolutely love that.
Because I don't think Bill Elliott won it every single season.
He didn't.
I think that there were years where like Darrell Waltrip in his farewell might have got one. And there were random seasons. Obviously, 2001, it was Dale Sr. But Matty D has a dark horse chance of stealing the most popular driver this year. And that would be huge for potential sponsorships. So that's my tinfoil hat theory for that. I don't know if it made a lot of sense, but you know what? It needed to be said.
Kinda.
Kinda. But yeah.
Kinda. Yeah, kinda.
So, Matt?
Well, so one other thing I want to touch on real brief.
We got to talk Dinger.
Well, hold on. Brandon Jones is returning to the Joe Gibbs 19 next season, and feel the heartbreak on this one. I really do. I
like the move.
I'm not overly surprised by it. It makes a lot of sense for Joe Gibbs.
He's literally the best Joe Gibbs Xfinity driver right now.
It does make a lot of sense.
I mean, Harrison Burton might be
least
the future.
Least consistent,
but
for sure, in my opinion.
I
still stay by that.
The most successful and the least consistent, Matt.
He is, somehow.
So, suck an egg.
Somehow.
Have a plate of crow, because he's won 3 times.
Yeah,
Riley Herbst hasn't won once. He's in our Xfinity doghouse.
I also think Riley Herbst is a little overrated.
Yeah, he sucks. He hasn't won anything since like the K&N series.
Yeah,
and I think that he only won one K&N race.
Yeah,
but which we don't even cover on this podcast. So like, it's not like we really acknowledge it as a win anyway.
Yeah, we don't.
Like we barely touch on truck, but
barely. You're right.
But Harrison Burton has been good this season, and he's a little more consistent in terms of finishing. But Brandon Jones has the skins on the wall this season. He, at the end of the day, unless Harrison Burton can pull out another win, Brandon Jones was the JGR Xfinity driver.
I like Brandon Jones in the Xfinity series. Just leave him there. Just leave him there. Just let him sit there.
Just leave him there. Don't let him win the championship so Dylan doesn't have to replace Matt on the podcast.
Yeah, and find a new studio and figure everything else out.
And or like go through, have to sue him for the rights to the podcast, and I'll have to start a new one called The Mist Gear in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to sue for the show library, and it'll just be a mess.
Let's just hope he doesn't even make it to the Final Four. Then we don't even have to worry about it.
We'll go from 24 fans to 12 by then, and it'll just be a disaster. Yeah. Worst case scenario for the podcast. But can I talk a little Dinger?
Go for it.
Because now, if I'm the Dinger, the road courses have come in guns a-blazing.
Oh, yeah?
Road America to the Cup, Circus of America to the Cup, even the fucking Clash, which is going to have some eyeballs on it.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Is the Daytona road course. So, we do the Roval now, and AJ Allmendinger, Ross Chastain is leaving Calling Racing.
Yes,
I
sir.
think it would be a good thing for both parties, Calling and
Sign him to a full
AJ.
year, please.
Yes, sign him to one full year. Let him make a Sam Hornish comeback run in the 12 for Penske.
Oh, fully
in the
agree.
Xfinity Series. Let him try to make a Cup comeback.
Yep.
AKA maybe he runs a couple bullshit Spire races. And, he's good enough at a road course where he could place well. And dare I say, find himself in a Ryan Preece situation, but he's better than Ryan Preece.
But he is better than Ryan Preece.
So,
boom. Go
He
back to
could get that.
ATG.
But let him just attempt. Put him in the 10 or have the 16 go full-time. Try to pick up a good truck driver. Maybe they sign like a Sheldon Creed or some shit.
Yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
know.
good play.
Sheldon Creed or even like Zane Smith.
Zane Smith. I like Zane Smith.
Yes.
Big fan of Zane Smith.
I think one of those two are going to win the truck championship. But sign one of them to replace Ross in the 10. Obviously, Dinger's going to have at least some funding next year.
Oh, for sure.
In addition to his sponsors already, because they're definitely going to come back. I mean, he's got 2 victories, and he could definitely have more, too. I think that they definitely should sign him, and I think that he should try for kind of a second act comeback.
He should. Honestly, I think that if he runs a full-time Xfinity Series, he can make a run at the playoffs. He can make a run.
Oh, he's going to be in the playoffs, though.
He can make a run
at the championship.
He can make a run at the championship. And if he does that, if a seat comes available, you're running 6 road courses. I mean, even if he wins half of them, a third of them, he wins 2 races, that's better than half the drivers
All
out
he
there.
has to do is win 1 race and get in the playoffs. All he has to do is win 1 regular season road course race.
Of the 6 that they run,
Yeah. And
well,
honestly, I think that
5 regular season.
yes.
But yeah.
And then
To
I
get
mean,
in.
then we're talking if he can make it in and he can just survive
Till the Roval.
a round and a half.
Well,
and then
he just has to survive
then
the
get
first
to the
round,
Roval and just
get to the Roval,
yeah, and
win,
just get
and
like
then
a
he's-
top 3 at the Roval. Then we're talking round of 8. Then we're
He
talking
could be
round
round
of
of
8.
8, maybe.
But he could also win a playoff race, which is more than a lot of these drivers ever do.
Really, I agree.
So
a lot of them have never won a playoff race.
So I think I'd buy some stock in the Dinger.
I think you heard it here first, folks. We're buying stock in the Dinger. Done deal.
And once again, the only people that listen to this podcast are the drivers. It
So
feels like.
there you go. It might happen. Well, so let's talk Kansas quick. Kansas has always been a great mile-and-a-half race. I'm looking forward to it.
We
Always
had some very good racing this year at
very
Kansas
great.
already.
Yes, absolutely. Who are you taking, Dill Pick?
Okay, so this one is rough because right now the current standings and the way that we do the points are 108 for Matt and 97 for me. So
all you need is the hit on Kevin Harvick in the championship, and you win.
I could just stay within that 15
yeah.
for
Bubble. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that with the
For
round of
Kevin
8?
Harvick?
Is that with
Yes.
all the playoff picks added in or no?
Mhm.
It
Yep.
is? Okay.
Yep.
So that's with the round of 12 picks and the round of 8 picks.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm better than you at just straight up picking this season. You've gotten yours through letting you pick first for the regular season championship, which I have a different system next year, which
Yeah.
we're going to implement. But I also did that stupid fucking All-Star.
Yeah.
Pick.
I hit twice on Chase Elliott.
Yeah,
Pretty
you hit
successfully.
twice on stupid things that I came up with.
Yeah, you really did. I got 35 points from that. Sorry, Dylan.
From those two, yes.
Sorry.
Because my fucking driver finished
Although,
second.
however, in my defense, I did let you repick the Jimmy pick at Indianapolis. Which
I
I'm
would
not
still be
saying-
winning.
I'm not saying it would be a lot, but I'm saying it is at least something to help compensate.
So during the regular season, I was doing a lot of parlays, and they were working where I would pick the manufacturer, the team and the driver.
Yeah, they did.
So, but this week, it's definitely going to be Harvick or Hamlin. I mean, hell, that's what it was when they ran the first 2 Kansas races, right?
The first Kansas, they only ran one there.
Didn't they run 2?
No, they ran one.
Oh shit! Maybe I was thinking Pocono.
Pocono, they ran 2.
Yes, I was thinking Pocono. My apologies. But anyway, it's going to be Harvick or Hamlin. So I know Hamlin usually always catches up in the win department, at least a little bit, to Kevin Harvick, but I'm drinking this Busch Light tonight. And I'm taking driver Kevin Harvick.
Damn it.
Team Stewie Haas. And then manufacturer, I'm going to take Toyota, just in case.
Just in case. 1 point. I'm going to save myself 1 point.
And for my team, or for my Xfinity pick'em, I've picked Cendric.
Quite a bit.
I've picked Cendric like the past 3 weeks.
Quite a bit, yes.
That trend will continue.
Trent Wilkin, you're like, I'm waiting to hit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll hit on it once.
I
That's
will.
all that matters. All right.
So who are you taking, Matt?
Who is your team? Did you take Stuart Haas?
Yes, I did.
All right. I don't like picking the same as you because it's more fun to not. I feel like Kevin Harvick's going to win, which sucks.
You could punt and pick Harvick. You know that, right?
Yeah, but Dylan...
But also you can't gain any by punting.
Yeah, but I can't lose any by punting either.
Or you can hedge your bets. You could take a Harvick and then try to pick a different team.
I already said earlier that like I could pick all the same picks as you and I'd win because that's how our system works.
Yeah. Well, although you could get fucked during the championship.
Well, I could have picked the same championship as you too, and I could have won.
True.
But I didn't because what's the fun in that?
But also, I mean, it seems so even between Harvick and Hamlin.
I am gonna take.
You almost got to pick the other.
I am gonna take. I want to pick Harvick, man. I'm gonna take Harvick, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make my team Joe Gibbs.
Why did I float that theory?
And I'm gonna. No, I'll take Ford. I'll take Ford, so it's not the same manufacturer at least.
All right.
And not the same team, but I'm taking Harvick.
I still gain more from a Harvick win than you, but you son of a bitch. Why did I ever tell you that? Why would I tell you that?
But
I'm a fucking idiot.
But if
I'm
Denny
losing
Hamlin
by
wins,
myself.
If Denny Hamlin wins, I gain points.
I know.
I gain 2 points.
Yeah, you only get a net gain of 2.
And if Kevin Harvick wins, you gain.
I gained 3.
Yeah, but I picked.
This is 3 points for
Yeah,
the
but
team.
didn't I pick Ford for manufacturer?
Oh, yeah, then I gained 2.
You gained 2.
Wow, this is completely pointless. I think we broke our pick'em.
We really do. We gotta.
Are we gonna have to really focus on this Xfinity
We're gonna
race?
have to really fix. Oh, I'm picking Briscoe, by the way.
Oh my god! Yeah, we're picking the same guys.
We're picking the same guys. Sorry. Well, you picked Cendric. I'm picking Briscoe.
You know what? Cendric is gonna get his shit together again, and I think
Briscoe
he won Kansas.
is
last
gonna
time.
get his shit together again.
Briscoe's had his shit together the whole year.
He has. He really has.
I mean,
fully
Briscoe
agree.
was fucking finishing second and third when Cendric was on a streak.
Yeah, I fully agree.
We were talking about Cendric being he was on a legendary run, but
He was.
when the run was over, Briscoe was still neck and neck with him, and then like 2 weeks later, he took the lead again.
Yep, he was.
Well, guys,
Well, that'll be the end of the pod. Next week, we'll talk some Kansas and preview the Texas race.
Will be awesome.
We'll see where the first race in the round of 8 shakes up. Only 4 races left, Dylan.
I'm going to miss this season. This has been a good season.
It's been a good season. It has been. It really has been.
Please remember to rate, subscribe, tell a friend. Always have to get that out of there.
On Facebook, YouTube.
No emails this week, though.
No emails.
No emails.
No emails. We will talk to you guys next week.